Right, Tuesday, November 17th. This is your Bringing the News of Novak Weather update brought to you by Grand Casino of Mille Lacs and Hinckley. Thank you, Grand Casino, for sponsoring this weather update, which features warm air. Now, we're going to be focusing on the warm air that's going to be surging into the region now as we go through the day tomorrow, and then certainly on Thursday. In fact, I think the warm air is going to hang around for quite a while. A lot of it has to do with the Chinook winds, and I've told you about this before, but what Chinook winds are is winds come off the west coast, they go up and over the Rocky Mountains, and then they descend east into the plain states, and as they do that, they warm up. They warm up quite a bit as they start to sink off the top of the Rocky Mountains and into the plain states, and that sinking air is a warming air. And yeah, Chinook winds this time of the year means a fairly rapid and impressive warm-up, and you're going to see that in the extended forecast. First things first, here's some mid-level clouds now that you see streaming east and southeast across Minnesota on the visible satellite loop. These are stratus clouds. They are what we call altostratus clouds because they are up at around 10 to 20,000 feet in our atmosphere. It's actually the signal that there is a front located right here now, starting to move east into Minnesota. And along and ahead of that front, you get these stratus clouds that have developed. And they'll get out of here. I think they're going to dissipate here overnight. And then they'll get out of here, and we'll be left with some much warmer air as we get into tomorrow. In fact, you can see it here on the temperatures across the northern plains and upper Midwest. Here's the Twin Cities metro. We're stuck in the low to mid 30s. A lot of that due to the cloud cover. I was hoping for a temperature around 40. I thought if we were to get a little bit more sun today, we'd get up around 40 degrees, but hence the clouds kept us a little bit cooler today. But look at what's happening out west here. These are temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and that air mass is going to be surging to the east and northeast into Minnesota tomorrow and probably stick around for at least a 48 to 72 hour period. In fact, take a look at these temperatures. Again, these are the temperatures now for tomorrow. Okay, and you can see that 70s are going to be all over South Dakota, over much of South Dakota. There may even be an 80-degree reading in central South Dakota tomorrow. And then here in southern Minnesota, we're going to be well into the 50s. In fact, some areas of southwestern Minnesota may even reach 60 degrees tomorrow. And yes, that's the same here over the western Dakotas with temperatures in the 60s. And I think those upper 50s and 60s are going to be surging into southern Minnesota as we head into Thursday. So yeah, temperatures a good 15 to 20 degrees above average as we get into the day on Wednesday and Thursday, especially Thursday. Again, that's going to be the day that we are going to have probably the warmest temperatures here in the upper Midwest. Looking ahead now, this is the weekend. And this is the jet stream structure now for this weekend. And I want to just point this out. We do have a trough that's going to be developing over the central and northern portion of the United States. And within that trough, we may have to introduce a bit of precipitation into the upper Midwest as we get into this weekend, as we start to change air masses again. But until then, we're going to be warm. These are the temperature anomalies now as we go through time here over the next 72 or so hours. This is from the European computer model forecast, and watch what it shows for temperatures as we go through the day tomorrow. Temperatures a good 10 to 15 degrees above average here at the surface in Minnesota, and then that warm air sticks around so that by Thursday afternoon, temperatures over portions of southern Minnesota may be a good 20 to 25 degrees above average. That would put several locations in southern Minnesota into near or above the 60-degree reading as we get into Thursday afternoon. We do start to cool off a little bit for Friday, but still temperatures above average. And then we finally settle back to temperatures near or maybe just a tad below normal as we go into this weekend. In fact, that you can see here on the extended forecast. Here are those warm temperatures now for tomorrow and Thursday. I'm thinking 50s are a lock for much of southern Minnesota tomorrow, and I won't be surprised if many areas in southern Minnesota, especially near the I-90 corridor, hit or exceed 60 degrees on Thursday. And then we settle back to temperatures near or just a touch maybe above or below normal as we get into the weekend and early next week. Average high for this time of the year is in the upper 30s. The average low is in the mid-20s. And again, there's that interesting system now for Sunday of this weekend. We might have to deal with a little bit of a mixture of rain and snow. All right, that's your forecast. Grand Casino, thank you for sponsoring this. Everybody have a great evening. Take care.